and so it's not just like new roster, completely new org. So there are at least a couple more players from recent, and that culture will probably still be there. And so they're still a absolute banger of a team. We'll see how these two teams do in the very first round of, what is this, week 31?
Yeah, week number 31. We're starting
Man.
to lose count over here. And we won't, unfortunately, be seeing any Icebox here for game 1 at the very least, but we still have a chance to see some Sky as we get loaded into Agent Select here. Will be actually, looks like we'll be playing on Ascent, actually,
All right.
funnily enough, here to start out the group stage. So no bind coming through just yet, staying off of Haven just for now. Taking a quick look at the roster for the side of Shiba, we have Cairo, Kai, Sev, Zambi, and Chobo, ever reliable on the Cypher. So again, a lot of proven names that have been through about every competition that Valorant has been able to throw at these top level teams. Just be interesting to see. I don't think this was the start they were necessarily expecting. Either of these sides were expecting to start off their tournament day.
Right, like I said, you sort of want to sort of glide through group stages,
Yeah.
you know. You're not disrespecting the teams in your group, but you like to sort of think that you're the top team. But when you get put up against another high-seeded team, you're just like, all right, well, let's get started here.
No warm-up rounds available, really. Yeah, you're going to have to get that all done in the firing range beforehand, unfortunately.
Right. They'll warm up in the second round, all right? They'll start off.
Second or third round. We'll see, when people decide to pick up guns. That's actually something interesting you touch on there, is the second and third round meta is certainly evolving here more recently. And in the terms of when the meta certainly evolved first off from when you drop that first pistol round, you immediately save into the next round so you can get a more sufficient buy in going into the third. Starting with last week, and I guess this is a trend that we saw start with sort of a trickle and now has really become sort of the mainstream, is that second round force buy.
Sure.
Picking up the 4 stingers, sometimes 5 stingers and armor up against, a team that wins the first round is likely going to try to go very light in terms of buy into the second round. So the team that drops that first round has felt a lot more confident here recently, picking up the stingers, picking up the armor, and a lot more times than we used to see, they'll take back that second round.
Right. I mean, just dropping those rounds early can have a huge or just giving that second round early could have a huge effect later in the game, and you want to still be aggressive, trust in your teammates that with that force buy, you can still pick up that second round instead of just sort of giving it. Because you're not totally lost on economy. You can still force buy. It's definitely a risk, but I like to see teams take these kind of risks. But we are into the Agent Select. Awesome screen here.
Yes, very nice to see. Very nice to have it. And I really do like seeing, you can definitely tell sometimes how the discussion is evolving for these teams in terms of who they want to select and what they're going to pick over. But unfortunately not treated to seeing those mind games go through just yet. We are going to be treated to this lovely tour here of Ascent, taking a look around this A side of the map. Really difficult, I think, for teams to get consistent pressure onto the A site as the attackers. I think pushing through that A long corridor is really difficult when usually to make it work, you have to combine that with a push from the garden area. Moving on to catwalk is a whole nother risk in itself. So definitely seeing more attackers favor that B side of the map. We'll see how it shapes up for these teams here today.
Yeah, and I really would like to see how these teams, we don't know what agents are picked, but Sky and where she can be utilized best, what site, not just on defense, but also attack, and like which side teams decide to allocate her towards and make their pushes around.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. So taking a quick look, no Sky, no Icebox, no Sky. What's even the point of having new champion or new agents, new maps? We're not even gonna get to see them, but we do see some interesting selections here nonetheless. Chobo, who I know usually on the Cypher, has actually picked up the Jet, a much more aggressive pick for her there. Looks like the Cypher has gone over to I believe it was Kai actually picking up the Cypher, and look at this push from Shiba on defense, pushing right into the hands of Osias. Osias gets the action started, but Shiba, this is still a successful push for them. Traded 2 for 1 here in the pistol round, and these last 3 members of Mystify are a little befuddled as to what to do from here. Agility stuck in this corner. Here comes Chobo, but Agility deals with the threat before going down to Zambi, and now in a 2v3, the Shiba aggression really paying off in round 1.
Shiba, Abe picking up a kill on Kai. It's now a 2-on-2 as Mystified decides to take A site. Like I said, Shiba coming in with a game plan this round. They went aggressive. They knew what to do, and it sort of seemed to work out for them. But now it looks like as both teams are about to have a round-ending conflict here.
Sev taking big damage from those shock darts there. Ooh, narrowly dodges away from the recon bolt there. Shiba, the aggression paid off early, but they've got to make it count here. Zambi picks up the triple kill onto Abe, bringing it into the 1v1. Zambi clutches it out with the 4K, and Shiba came in with a game plan and executed. Takes round 1 over Mystify, and we'll see how Mystify respond here economically.
I liked what Shiba was doing. They aggressively pushed through mid, came around the backside of Mystify's B push, and Oasis did see them. It did sort of stop their push, but I like the, like I said, game plan they had, and they pick up round 1 on the back of Zambi.
So Mystify not going for any sort of force buy here in the second round, just playing it safe, not willing to take too many risks early on here. A practical approach to the group stage here from Mystify, but Osias still so dangerous at any given time, launching some sheriff shots across mid there, won't find any damage. The signal is sent to Shiba. They've got to take this one seriously. Here comes the push onto B site from Mystify. Osias gets the action started, takes the head off of Kai. Cairo stands tall there on B site, but will lose out eventually. But Zambi is here for reinforcements. Mystify making the most of this eco round, gets themselves set up on B site. Ooh, in a 4v2 now. 4v1, and it's all falling apart for Shiba. No force buy required. Mystify snatch one right back.
Mystify, great round by them. I also really liked the save, as you did see Shiba come within a massive aggressive play in their first round, and they're like, all right, what is Shiba up to? We're going to save this round, play it carefully. Didn't pull the big risk, and they still came out on top 1-1.
Now it's going to be Shiba who are relegated to the eco round, only springing for a couple of frenzies there. So they're going to have to make a bit of a miracle happen if they want to stop Mystify. I have to say, Shiba having a tough time actually getting things going kill-wise. Only Zambi there with his 4K from round 1, making any sort of impact there on the scoreline.
All right, we see Mystify playing it slow. Looks like they cross through mid and are going to A here.
Yeah, Shiba started out with a really staunch defense on the B side. You can see 4 defenders there ready to go on B side. Mystify had gone B 2 rounds in a row. Shiba thought it might be a safe bet to send them there for a 3rd round. But Mystify are going to really open up this mid area and get themselves set up onto A site. They've done well controlling their territory thus far. Sev can't get anything done with the right click there. And this round gets a little bit easier for Mystify as they look to get the spike down. Abe takes down Zambi, catches him looking the wrong way. Cairo can't make anything happen with the frenzy, and Mystify in a 5v1 with Chobo on the opposite side of the map. Mystify dropped 1 round, but have come right back to put 2 in a row.
Man, flawless by the side of Mystify. I like how they played it slow, kept a flawless round. I also love to see Advice, who's on the Sova. He made a ton of noise, sent in the Owl drone on B side. He kept almost 3 members from Shiba trying to protect B because they still thought, like you said, they had a huge defense there. And then Mystify completely took A and cleaned up that round. Really clean round by Mystify. I love to see it.
Yeah, really smartly played from Mystify there. Definitely a mix-up from the side of Mystify, having gone B twice, and then that slow intel gathering helped them set up that really well-executed play onto A. And now, once again, Mystify turning their attention over towards B side to see if Sev can get any intel, but Chobo's going to push, or excuse me, Iconic's going to push forward before Sev can do so. Sev wins out over Iconic, but goes down to Ozias. And Shiba didn't have any reinforcements there for Sev, so they're going to have to retake here. They do have equal footing with Mystify numbers-wise, but the Empress running for Ozias. He can be so dangerous here. Ozias will get one. Oh, that's all he'll get, though. Kai wins that trade out, but Abe follows up with a big kill to Cairo. Backs away to the site, able to do support advice here on this B corridor, and Shiba look a little lost here on the B side, trying to work their way in. Agility comes up big through the wall of the boathouse, takes down the remaining 2 defenders, and Mystify put the cap on 3 rounds in a row in the face of a full buy from Shiba.
I mean, really great play by Mystify again. Aggressively pushing onto B, takes the site, and then they clean it up a second time on Shiba here. I really like what I'm seeing from these guys. Like we said, both these teams are solid teams coming off in the first round of our group stage, so we are still in for a match here, but we see another save round from Shiba.
Yeah, and I think only 2 kills actually going over to Shiba since that initial first round. So tough for Shiba to find ways in, and it just gets tougher. Iconic takes down Zambi across that mid corridor there, but Shiba once again showing some aggression on the defending side. May pay off in a big way, and it does. Abe caught sleeping, but Mystify follow up with a big punish onto the side of Shiba. Now Sev trying to work in some Sheriff shots, and does. Takes down Agility there in that mid duel. So Shiba, despite some rather theatric losses here to start this round off, are still within a shot of wrapping this one up, but Ozias on the backside here is going to make it much more difficult here. Now Sev, the lone defender remaining, works his way through that door as the Wolves are hunting him down, but Sev finds a big headshot onto his rival Sova, but Ozias cleans it up for Mystify. Despite some kills going back and forth, Mystify have made it 4 rounds in a row to start this one off.
Yep, a big streak for Mystify. I like that Shiba was able to pull at least a couple members.
Right.
You know, Chobo now has the op, and so we'll see what he can do in the hands of that. This isn't far gone. It's only 4-1. Let's see what they do with this full round for them. Definitely a little bit promise from last round. I liked what I had. I felt like they were outgunned.
Yeah, definitely difficult job to mount the classics up against a full buy. But yeah, we'll see how Chobo can do with this op. As I said earlier, she's definitely mostly known for being a Cypher main, so this is a big shift here for Chobo. But as we're talking about Chobo, Advice steals the show, gets a big Hunter's Fury kill onto Kai. Cairo trying to work forward here. Meanwhile, Sev responds with the Hunter's Fury revenge onto Ozias, and Mystify surge forward onto A site and take down the defenders of Shiba. Shiba have not been able to make these full buys work.
Man, Mystify stopping Shiba at every turn. Just like I thought they were having a little bit of promise, Mystify says, heck no, and they pull out another great round, only losing 1 member, and that makes it 5 in a row since that first round.
Yeah, Mystify with a big statement here to start off this first half of the group stage. This is, I mean, we said it before, this is a match you'd expect to see top 4, but that is certainly the nature of the Valorant Sunday Showdown. There are so many good teams that got to start working through them at some point in time. And Iconic, this little off angle here, holding down that mid corridor, getting a good look onto Catwalk, now pushed up onto B. Oh, narrowly misses the snipe onto 7. That's going to give a lot of intel over towards Mystify with that Owl recon. So Mystify still so spread out though. Oh, Chobo showing us exactly why she switched over to the Jet, gets a big snipe onto Ozias, and that's exactly the kind of momenta Shiba need to start putting together.
I mean, he saw 1 hair on the top of Ozias' head and took him out. It was a barely sliver of a head. But we do see Mystify pushing through mid here.
Yeah, Chobo set up there on catwalk, still holding that angle down, but smoked out for now. Oh, and here comes the push. Once again, Iconic not able to convert that snipe down, but holding the angle down nonetheless and makes up for it. Iconic comes up big, gets the snipe onto Chobo and pops the Blade Storm for good measure. Here comes Iconic, takes down Zambi, and Shiba are left with no response here on A side. Cairo has got to try to get it done, and Cairo comes up big on Abe, but agility takes down Cairo, and now Shiba in our 2v3, but a 2v2. Sev with an expertly placed shock dart takes out Iconic, and Mystify in this 2v2 still have control of the site, but here comes the retake from Shiba. Kai, shoulder peeking around the corner, times it right, almost missed out, but Kai comes up big. Kai with the recovery 2K, and Shiba are right back in it.
Yep, Shiba stops the bleeding, pulls around off. Mystify is now 2-5. A really great showing Thrifty. And we'll see as they can enter this next round, sort of stop the momentum that Mystify had. But we'll see what they can do here.
Mystify do have a rather intimidating bankroll saved up. So while Shiba were able to make some inward progress there, will take a little bit more than that to knock Mystify off of this lead. See how it shapes up as we move into the later stages of the first half. Chobo holding this A long angle. One thing to mention too, Iconic without an op here in this 8th round. So that win was enough for Shiba to at least get that significant piece of utility out of the hands of Mystify. See if Mystify can still hold it down without it.
Yep. And we see, oh, Chobo, great shot onto agility.
So aggressive from the defending side of Shiba here. These pushes up have been expertly timed a lot of the time. Mystify usually has been able to weather the storm, but we'll see if they can weather yet another here in the 8th round. Cairo a bit too greedy, I think. Stomping their way over to A site, gets taken out by Osias, and that's going to let Mystify even up the numbers. And look at this push from Iconic, so deep into enemy territory now, but Chobo is ready for it. Oh, goodness. Just misses the snipe, forced to back away here, but I don't know that Chobo realizes how quickly the walls are closing in. Here comes the push from Mystify. Chobo waiting around this corner. Oh my goodness, Chobo wins out over Iconic, gets the no-scope onto Osias. Chobo making an absolute hero play on A site.
Chobo picking up a 3K, and Abe was lucky that she didn't make it a 4K. Really great play. Mystify is just like, what just happened? As they try to ground their bearings here.
Tough for Mystify to recover after some fireworks like that, but Advice has got themselves in the perfect position to do so. Kai wins out the trade, but Abe follows up, gets the revenge for Advice, leaving just Abe now to try and defend this site with 26 HP remaining. Here comes the pinch from Shiba, closing in on both sides. Sev is gonna win out that trade, and Shiba make it 2 rounds in a row now, get themselves back within arm's reach of Mystify.
Heck yeah, really good round by Shiba. Some really great teamwork, cleaning up Mystify. Mystify just sort of seemed all out of shock after Chobo picks up a 3K, and like I said, should be a 4K, but at the end of it, it is now 3-5, and they have closed that gap.
Yeah,
Chobo. Started to, yeah.
Yeah, Chobo coming up really, really massive there on the A side. We were kind of questioning the jet pickup there for Chobo, but Chobo undoubtedly showing why it's the smart pick for her. And so, once again, Mystify left without an op, and we saw in the rounds that they had won, the op came in crucial for them. Iconic able to get one or two kills, excuse me, with that op in hand. That opportunity not available to them. We'll see. They can make progress regardless, but Shiba can pull this half back within their grasp. See how they play around Mystify. Shiba has been really balancing the aggression and patience here. Iconic shows a little bit of aggression from Mystify, pushes forward, gets that opening kill with Chobo with the revenge onto Osias. Chobo certainly feeling the momentum now off the back of that stunning 3K. now holding down mid. Mystify have to be really careful how they play this one.
Yep. Oh, man.
Oh, 2 HP left on Chobo.
Cover going out.
Zambi's been so strong here today, but not strong enough there to stop this Mystify push. But Cairo with the perfect positioning. Cairo with the perfect play, and that's going to be Shiba wrapping up yet another round in what was a 4-round deficit turned to 1. And Mystify still with so much money in the bank, but this will be likely the last full buy they can put together if they don't steal this round away.
Right, right. I love Shiba. It just seems like every once in a while, one of their players will just make a huge play and keep them in these rounds. It's not just one player being crazy. It's their entire team doing some really awesome stuff. And like you said, this is sort of a last round buy for Mystify for them to save again.
Chobo mixing up the positioning here, now sending the op over towards B side, but gonna be backed away, will be spotted out there by Mystify. Mystify not wasting any time here in this round. They've decided to turn up the pressure onto Shiba, and that's gonna force Zambi to back away from this fight. Agility takes down Cairo, ready for the defender that time around. No triple kill for Cairo this time around, and that's gonna be a quick spike plant here for Mystify. Shiba making their way in, but Iconic right around the corner to greet them. Iconic goes fishing and finds a big one. Iconic gets the 4K, and Mystify re-extend their lead.
Oh man, Iconic. That was awesome, picking up the 3K, finishing off with a 4K at the end of the round. And they told Shiba to stop bringing this game back and spread it now 6-4.
Yeah, unfortunately unable to stop the op from going back over to Chobo, but a big stand for Mystify there as they risked letting this half run away with Shiba. They didn't put their foot down soon, and Iconic came up in a big way, picked up that 4K.
As you said, Mystify, if they lose that round, their economy is looking grim. So they bring it back. Iconic falls to Kai. Iconic was aggressive, and it did not pay off. Abe does pick up Chobo, though.
That's going to signal the push for Mystify here onto A side. Zambi had mixed luck there, holding down that angle. Doesn't work out for them this time, and that's going to leave Shiba a rather desolate 2v4 now. Abe on this aggressive flank here could pull the thread from Shiba. See if Shiba can make their retake work quick enough as Abe pushes through on the backside here. He comes right around Heaven. Shiba trying to find their way into sight, but Abe shuts the door, takes out Sev. Oh, but the reload betrays Abe, but Osias has got Abe's back. Osias wraps it up, and despite some shaky rounds early on, Mystify have reasserted their lead and have secured their lead going into the second half.
Right, Mystify now 7-4. They're going to be up at least one game if they still keep this round. Or, I mean, if they drop this round, either way they'll be up. We'll see what Shiba does as their buys aren't looking too spectacular here.
Yeah, difficult round for Shiba to close out the half on. They had all the makings of a successful half going for them after recovering from that early deficit. Kai, a bit of fancy footwork to dance away from the Hunter's Fury, but that's not going to stop the push from Mystify. The Empress rolling for Osias. Osias wins out over Kai with the help of the Empress there. Gets the heal for good measure. Iconic takes down Chobo, had the Blade Storm ready to go. Zambi, this first member of Shiba to find a kill. Sev follows up with a second. Will it be enough for this duo to take the clutch? One half of the duo already gone, and Sev considers the Hunter's Fury, but thinks better of it. Osias pushes forward with reckless abandon, picks up yet another 4K on the match, and Mystify going to the second half, up 8-4.
Man, great play by Osias in that round. Like you said, picking up a 4K, got really great effectiveness out of her ult. We'll see as the rounds swap what teams want to do here. I did like to see that Shiba in the first round of defense had an aggressive strategy, a plan. Let's see if they have a plan in this round as they did swap to attack.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Shiba approached the attacking side because they looked like the attacking side in some of those rounds in the first half. They would literally just push forward, sometimes through B corridor or sometimes through mid, try to catch Mystify off guard. We'll see. They bring some of that spice here to the second half. Thus far, Iconic pushing forward the most, trying to get an angle onto A long here, but but 4 members of Shiba going up towards mid, and now all 5 have joined together through mid, so they've established this territory here for themselves, pushing through this defensive smoke. They've got their path towards a B set all up, and they may catch Mystify in the back here if Mystify aren't careful. Here comes the execute pushing through, the flashes from Cairo going forward. They catch agility, but Osiris gets a kill, gets the second kill before going down. It's going to be double kills for either of these teams going into the spike plant. 3v3 now, Mystify on the retake.
Man, they made the push through mid, and then all of a sudden attacked B. Did drop 2 members to Osiris. We'll see what Shiba does do as they have the plant on B. Iconic looking out of the smoke.
Oh, Iconic playing around the smoke, expertly dashes away, gets the double kill. Mystify with a near flawless retake and the defuse for good measure. Mystify looking really strong to start off the second half.
Right on the back of Iconic, making some sick plays as you said, they did take retake B in excellent fashion. Now we'll see what Shiba does do, and it looks like they're gonna force buy on those Stingers. See how it works out for them.
Yeah, it's an interesting play here. We saw Mystify when they dropped that second round in the first half, just opted to eco and actually still paid off for the thrifty win. So we'll see if Shiba, with the force buy, they can pull off the very same. But Mystify have a staunch defense to greet them with a Guardian and a Marshal on the side of Mystify to back up 3 Spectres. Shiba certainly have their work cut out for themselves. Tactically moving forward onto this B side, they've certainly got all their eggs in the B basket. Agility there to try and knock them down. Agility gets the spray through the smoke. I thought he was so close, and finally finishes it out. Sev takes down Osiris after Osiris makes the Guardian work to his favor. Here comes Advice on the retake. Agility takes down Chobo. Shiba in a 2v4, but they may be able to get the spike down. Kai takes down Iconic on the retake. Kai so close to the double, but loses out to Abe, and Advice wraps it up for Mystify. Mystify stand tall in face of the force buy from Shiba, get themselves onto double digits.
Man, didn't that last little bit feel reminiscent? Same thing coming out as the retake from Mystify takes them down. Like you said, they are up now 10-4. It's not looking too great for Shiba, as Mystify has been making a strong case here.
I gotta say, I feel like Shiba showed up to this match very prepared. It looks like the game plan has been good to go for Shiba, but Mystify are playing like they've got something to prove. I'm really excited about it, actually. This is a team that we've been following since practically the very beginning of the Valorant Sunday Showdown, and to see this new iteration of this roster come forward and surge forward like this in this group stage match bodes really well for them, as does that kill from Iconic. Iconic looking so on point today. Iconic finding all of the damage, almost found all the kills. Chobo finally wins out with only 2 of her HP remaining. Will get that ult point for good measure. See if there's anything else for them to find, but I don't think so. It's Advice. They really well placed Shock Dart, takes down Chobo. Now Shiba in this 2v4 as Abe surges forward, gets the damage, gets the kill onto Sev. Now just Kai remaining. Kai will find the revenge onto Abe, but that's all of it. Mystify take down yet another round to get themselves 2 rounds away from a group stage win over former champions Shiba.
Man, Iconic looking good. Picks up 2, almost 3. I mean, Chobo said not even close when she lived on 2 HP, but we'll see how Iconic does in the next round, but he's looking real good all game.
Yeah, I was going to say I would be interested to see how Iconic makes the op work on attack.
Yeah.
Having used it so well on the defending side, but I don't think the game will make it that long. As Iconic certainly trying to wrap this one up. Gets real aggressive with the Blade Storm there. Won't find anyone from Shiba peeking just yet. Chobo, though, so aggressive with this push towards mid. Could find Mystify sleeping if they're not careful. But Mystify back away smartly. They give away this mid corridor here to Shiba and decide rather to just firm up their hold on the sites. Vice, that's going to be big intel for the side of Mystify.
And yeah, as they've got a sense of Shiba's plan. It looks like they're pushing through mid, but also sort of seems like they're building up an A push here. Oh man.
Oh, inches away there. Chobo almost finding her rival Jet. Oh, through the corridor, and Iconic is actually going to win out over Chobo. After having been spotted out, Iconic sends a dagger flying straight for Chobo. And so, Mystify, they've played this one really quietly, and that may pay off as Shiba try to work their way onto site now. Iconic lurking around the corner, Blade Storm in hand as Shiba pinch in onto B site. Oh, inches away from disaster. Shiba, here comes the push from Iconic. The right click lands, but won't find the kill onto Sev. But Cairo gets shot in the back as Kai takes down Agility. Here comes the retake from Iconic. Won't be able to find anything else. Kai wins out over Advice. This may be the round that Shiba need as Ozias pops the Empress, has a Guardian. There's low HP on the members of Shiba. If Ozias can find these shots, there's a clutch here for him as well. He's got to play this one exactly right. Oh, Sev getting revealed there. Ozias gets the first kill onto Zambi, able to back away for free. Has the overheal. Oh, and Ozias with a massive kill onto Sev into a 1v1, but he's looking the wrong way. It's going to be Kai with the clutch, with the 4K, and Shiba. A much needed round on the board.
Yep, they pull it back, bring it up. Kai with the 4K, like you said. Gosh, Ozias almost picking up the clutch, though. He did it really well as he tried to take back that B site. And like you said, it's such a slow round. Shiba only had like 8 seconds left to plant that spike before they would have lost to time there.
Yeah, they were definitely taking it to the last second. And it is an interesting mix-up because we said Shiba had been so aggressive on defense.
Right.
So it's interesting to see this, definitely kind of almost laid-back play style, letting Mystify come to them. Oh, it paid off that round. Will it pay off this round? Iconic wins out over Cairo, but Zambi on the opposite side takes down Ozias, and Abe takes down Sev mid, but Chobo gets the trade, gets the kill onto Advice, and now, oh my goodness, all the pieces are falling apart. Chobo picks up the double kill, takes out Abe, and now Mystify in a 2v3, but the HP bars on Shiba are looking absolutely abysmal.
Oh man, yeah, you're right. Shiba's got, combined, I don't even know if they have one full health bar. It might be.
Iconic says it doesn't matter how much HP you got. Headshot is a kill. Shiba able to get themselves onto A site here, but Iconic peeks around the corner, takes down Zambi. Kai gets the revenge onto Iconic, but Kai only has 2 HP, no team available. Will be able to get the spike down here. See how Agility handles this 1v1 retake.
Kai in a pretty good spot to control this A site by himself.
Yeah, that camera is going to pay off really well for Kai here. Gets the spot out onto Agility, knows exactly where he's coming from. Oh, but Kai! Oh, so close. Played it nearly exactly right, but Agility just had the more favorable health bar in the end.
Yeah. Agility, all he had to do was sneeze on Kai there, so low. But like we said, Kai played it really well.
Match point.
Just an HP diff at that point.
Yeah, really difficult for Kai to clutch that out. You definitely have to give a shout out to Kai, 17, 14, and 3. Despite Mystify playing so well this match, Kai has had an absolute standout game. But on the flip side of it, Iconic and Ozias certainly putting on a performance here today. 22, 12, and 5 there for Iconic. 19, 11, and 8 for Ozias. Really, really strong stuff from them. And if they play this way the rest of the tournament, these other teams are going to have a tough time.
Oh, Abe looking take out Chobo here.
Oh, here comes the Hunter's Fury from Sev. Ozias gets that big kill onto Chobo. Oh, Sev gets the Hunter's Fury there onto Advice, but the kills get traded equally. So despite the fireworks from Mystify, Shiba keep themselves on equal footing and now have an opportunity to make a play as they have a fair bit of time remaining.
Yeah, we want to see what Shiba's trying to do here. Looks like they really want this A site, and they are trying to make that happen. Oh. I thought Zambi was about to peek. Just as both teams are sitting here waiting for the other one to make a move. Probably going to be here Shiba on the attack as the time does tick down. Looks like Zambi does get on the site.
Wow, Zambi wins out over Abe despite Abe having held that angle for a millennia. Now Ozias has his work cut out for him. Oh, trying to push forward, but Zambi wins out in the end, and Agility now alone in the 3v1. So Agility
taking the site last round, but it was a 1v1. Let's see what he can do with the numbers multiplied by 3.
See what kind of magic Agility can pull out, but that's going to be a recon bolt sent right for his head, and now they know exactly where he's at. Agility can't win out. Zambi wins out in the end, puts together the 4K here for his team, and Shiba, every round so precious now moving forward.
Yep, as they are on game point, 6-12. I mean, if they pull off rounds like that, they absolutely have promise here. Let's see what they can do.
Yeah, it'll just depend on the members of Shiba that aren't Kai. Kai has certainly put in the work, but the other members of Shiba need to get their mortars running here, or else this game is soon over in the favor of Mystify here. Dueling Blade Storms pop for either of these sides as Mystify rushes forward on the defending side.
Oh.
This is a bit of an eco round here for them, so they tried to take advantage, but that's going to be a free A site here for Shiba. Kai, the lone attacker, could drive a wedge right through this retake if Mystify aren't careful. Oh, Kai knows the walls are closing in, wins out over Ozias, and Agility gets the trade onto Kai there. So Mystify, time is working against them, but they've got a bit of a chance here. They can work their way onto A site, but Iconic rather far away from making that happen. Chobo combined with Cairo there gets the kill. Cairo gets another one onto Abe. Iconic though with the revenge onto Chobo, keeping Mystify in this round, but I don't think they have enough time to pull this one off.
Yeah, such an interesting, oh my.
Iconic still so exciting regardless of the situation. There's certainly no time. But Iconic doing what he can regardless. Cairo will make it work there for Shiba despite going down to the spike. And Shiba, as we said, every round is precious and they're putting them together one by one.
Yeah, Iconic coming in just a little too late on those amazing kills. And you see Shiba push onto A and they go, anyone home? And they're just like, all right, I guess I'm moving in. And they took A site for free. And that's how they were able to sort of have a very good defense there. And really stall out until the detonation.
We'll see if Mystify can put together a response here to close this game out. We do have to look at Osiris, who's picked up the Guardian for, I think, this 3rd time this half. Oh, Iconic. A rare miss from Iconic. Sees him lose out to Cairo there.
We see the Rolling Thunder come right out, and again, they get free control of A. And as we saw last round, if Shiba sort of has control, they sort of seem to do pretty well, especially with Iconic off the map.
Oh, Kai wins out over Ozias, wins out over Abe as well for the double kill. And I think Mystify may need to just survive this round. If they want an opportunity of putting this together, they've got no money in the bank whatsoever. I think Agility and Advice just going to have to keep these guns alive.
Yeah, I mean, Shiba looking good. I think Mystified. The really crazy miss by Iconic losing out in that 1v1 did set them up for failure, but they seem to sort of just be slipping through the cracks for Shiba, and Shiba putting up 3 games in a row.
Yeah, it's tough
3
for
rounds.
Ozias. I feel like he is on the Guardian, like I said, for the 3rd time this half
Yeah.
was on the Guardian. And while that can pay off if the attackers push right to where you're holding, it makes it so much harder for Ozias to be effective in those retake positions. And you saw losing out to Kai before he could even pull the trigger there. So we'll see if Ozias can make this buy work, as once again he sprung for the Guardian, now the 4th time in this half. Certainly favors it. And now the double Guardian actually coming out from Iconic for a second.
Yeah.
Switches on down to the
He
Sheriff.
heard you, and he's like, oh.
No.
That's right.
No armor for Ozias, just a Guardian. This is a big gamble here, I think, from Mystify, actually, to force buy in such a way. We'll see if it pays off for them as Chobo rushes forward onto B site, but her backup in the form of Kai gets taken out by Agility, and now Chobo needs to adjust her bearings to try and get this trade onto Agility. Agility mows down the members of Shiba, but Shiba come right back with 3 kills of their own, and Chobo gets a big kill onto Iconic. Advice gets the revenge, but Sev clutches it out, and that's another round for Shiba off the back of a rather risky force buy from Mystify.
Man, it's 9-12, Dilly. We'll see. I mean, they've been on the edge for the last 4 rounds in a row, but these last 4 rounds, honestly, have been confident wins, I feel like, from the side of Shiba.
I mean, this was 12-4 at one point. This looked all but dusted, and now Shiba have a realistic chance of sending this one into OT. They've put some serious rounds together. We will see Mystify with that full buy here in the 22nd, but if Mystify drop this round, it's all but done for Shiba to move this one into overtime. See how they approach this one as Chobo once again wasting no time moving up towards this mid corridor.
And I love to see Chobo with these aggressive pushes all game. When we've seen her be at her best is when she's playing really aggressive. I'd like to see it through mid. She's gonna run into the trap wire. Oh, that's already
so close to catching a pixel of Advice there. Advice will reveal himself a bit with the recon drone, but more so reveals Chobo. Chobo now a little bit pressed to make a play here. As time takes down under a minute, Shiba will pull away from this B side. They may focus their efforts onto A as they're running out of time. Mystify start to set themselves up to try and receive this execute here. Shiba doing a bit of scouting, trying to spot out the members of Mystify that will get the spot down to Abe. Abe, though, undeterred, will start to work his way forward as Iconic starts to get closed in on, will be able to dodge away from that recon bolt with the spike. Meanwhile, Advice gets traded out for Kai. Now a 4v4 as Ozias pops the Empress. Iconic pops Chobo. Kai takes down Iconic. We're in a 3v3 here. Shiba get the spike down, but health bars are looking rough for Chobo. Health bars are looking really good for Mystify. Ozias very strong with the Empress running here. Has the Vandal. No Guardian this time around. This could come up big for Ozias if Shiba don't play this one perfectly.
Let's see what Ozias can do. Oh man, as the ult does run out. Agility jumping down. Picks up 1, picks up 2, picks up 3.
No way! Mystify! What a bonkers retake. All 3 members picking up a kill on the 3 remaining defenders. And goodness gracious, all credit to Shiba for putting back together an absolutely massive comeback, down 12-4, brought it all the way to 12-9, but in the end fell so short to Mystify, Reborn. GG's to them. And that was a little closer than it was alluding to earlier on.
Yeah, and really good try from Shiba to bring it back. You know what? If they do win that round, the economy's looking really good for them to bring that back to overtime. But Mystify says, nope, we're going to take it right here. It was interesting, but they end the game, bringing them to win this first game.
Yeah, a brilliant retake there from Mystify. The double drop down there from Agility and Ozias just made it so hard for Shiba to try and deal with that retake. The defenders were pushing in from all various angles, so really tough for Shiba to deal with there. Really well played from Mystify, and equally well played by Iconic. 27-17-6. That is going to be your match MVP for Game 1 here of week number 31 of the Valorant Sunday Showdown. A massive standout performance from Iconic. No one even really sniffing close to that KDA.
Yeah, and we see Iconic really great on the operator when he was attacking. He
Yeah.
decided to opt away from that more so when he was on defense. Didn't matter. He was still picking up kills from his Blade Storm, from his just Vandal or Phantom. And a really great play by him. 27, what, 12? 27, 12, and
Yeah.
really great plays by him.
Yeah, really, really strong stuff from Mystify to get our day started, and it is
Man.
just getting started. We've got a lot more to come up. We're going to take a quick little break, and we'll be back with Game 2 of the group stage, and stick around. You definitely don't want to miss it.